Nationals presented locally by PNC, with thanks also to the APTA's national official sponsors, Viking and Uline. We are live from the Fox Chapel Racquet Club in Pittsburgh on the APTA network, presented by eNet Live. I'm Laura Mandel, along with Patty Hogan, bringing you a round of 64 match between the number 10 seeds, Zubori and Martina Ondrejkova, and the unseeded team of Cindy Prendergast and Lauren Zink.
Yeah, we have 3 national champions on the court here in women's play. Cindy Prendergast from Wilmington, Delaware, is teaming up here with Lauren Zink from Bradenton, Florida. Their opponents here, the number 10 seeds, Martina Ondrejkova. Martina is the rackets professional at Greenwich Country Club in Greenwich, Connecticut, and she's playing with Anna Zubori. Zubori is a professional at Fox Meadow in Scarsdale. They are not seeded, but they are hardly unknown, Lauren.
No, I mean, this is a team that for years was the team to beat in Prendergast and Zink. They've won 3 national championships together in 2008, 2011, and 12. And Patty, Cindy Prendergast also won another national title. Do you know who that was with?
Well, I happen to know the answer to this easy question. Many years ago, we teamed up. We played for 6 years, and we were very proud to make 6 finals in a row. And we're very proud only to have lost to Hall of Famers.
But you did win one.
We did. And we had a lot of fun along the way. This is kind of an intriguing matchup. Prendergast and Zink started out this morning. I watched them up there. You know, they're an amazing team in that they come to nationals every year. They hold several distinctions besides their national titles. They're one of the teams who has lost in every round in nationals, which says a lot about perseverance and, you know, always coming back and battling. And Lauren has some talented kids, tennis players. Tyler's at the University of Georgia, and so her time is really spent mostly away from the paddle court these days. But they
did recently play at the Peachtree Invitational, and so they got some good practice in before nationals, reaching the finals there. As we look at the court, Lauren Zink is in the bottom left, and I guess that's a blue or a black vest and patterned pants, and her partner Cindy Prendergast in the deuce court with a baseball cap on. And on the other side in the deuce court is Martina Ondrejkova, and in the ad court is Anna Zubori. They're all wearing sort of the same color combination, so it's tough to identify them by their clothing.
I think Zink's going to be able to, we're going to pull her out with those patterned pants.
The pants.
Sort of in the camo gear, and camo family of pants. And, you know, what I was saying earlier, their first round match, they just were firing bullets one after the other. And, you know, this game has come a long way since 1935 when the first women's national championships were held in Scarsdale, Lauren. And I won't ask you the name of the players.
Thank you.
I happen to have done some research, and Mrs. Eaton and Mrs. Fuller beat Mrs. Hampton and Mrs. Rockefeller in the finals. We've come a long way, baby.
I don't think they were cracking forehands like these women do, but
4 minutes, ladies. 4.
Both Zink and Ondrejkova have very huge drives out of the deuce court, and we'll see how much damage they do with those. But
yeah, I mean, when we talk about pace of play, all of that, who's important to get to a quick start, it's got to be Zink Prendergast. They're going to have to come out of the blocks to keep this thing close. Zubori and Ondrejkova are so talented. They didn't play last year's nationals, but, I mean, they are a true contender here, with Ondrejkova being a former national champion with Gabby Nicolescu in 2016.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, Anna Zubori is one of the most talented players out there. Hasn't achieved the results that I know she would like to yet, but it's just a matter of time. And so this could be the year. Should we take a quick look at the draw?
That'd be great.
So this is the bottom
quarter.
Well, the top part of the bottom quarter anyway. And the winner of this match will play the winner of Sutter Von Kennel and Ness and Comer. And then they would run into the 8th seeds, Jessica Guillot and Mirta Mollenveld in the round of 16.
And Jessica Gigo is the local pro here, and she's got some challenges on her plate on the physical front this week. So we're all kind of cheering on her being able to be as competitive as she would like this weekend.
Absolutely. I think we're ready to start.
Ladies and gentlemen, this round of 64 match in the PNC APTA National Championships is best of 3 sets with tie breaks. To my right, in the deuce court from Stamford, Connecticut, Martina Ondrejkova. Her partner from Westport, Connecticut, Anna Maria Zubori. To my left, in the deuce court, Cindy Prendergast from Wilmington, Delaware. From Bradenton, Florida, Lauren Zink. Zubori to serve.
A little wide with that serve.
Love 15. Love 30.
This is the start Zink and Prendergast needed.
Right. It's tough starting the first match of the day serving.
The sun's just come out. I think Anna Maria's looking right into it.
Love 40.
The signature Prendergast forehand drive.
Flat, right over the top of the net. Zubori didn't shift there. That's why the ball went through the middle.
And maybe she thinks Lauren
40.
Zink doesn't lob.
Which wouldn't be wrong.
Game, Prendergast, Zink. They lead 1 game to none.
Well, so the stakes are high here in nationals, and it's natural to be a little nervous for these players. And Zubori and Ondrejkova, they don't have that many matches under their belt this year. They've played really 3 tournaments. We'll talk about that in a little while.
Lauren Zink serving. That hit the top 15. Of the paddle. That was the definition of a miss hit.
I could do that. Great shot of Zubori. She's got the sunglasses on out here.
15 all.
Cindy Prendergast went by me. She said, does Anna Maria like her forehand or her backhand better? From the looks of that backhand.
Did you say yes?
Seems pretty close. I said, she seems joyful with each.
Yes.
15-30. $15.40.
We saw Martina team up with Vicky Stakosova at Short Hills. But there's something about when she's on the court with Anna Maria.
30-40.
Really comfortable, and it seems like their games mesh perfectly together.
She's very relaxed when she plays with Zubori. She really enjoys it. They enjoy each other's company. And that's important. You're on a small court.
Game. Ondrejkova, Zubori. We're tied 1 game apiece.
So, not a serving fest yet. Just opening nerves. This is the first match, women's play in 2019.
Well, they've already played a match, Prendergast and Zink.
Prendergast and Zink have played one.
So they played one earlier this morning.
They got by Shauna Muller and Karen Urban. That was an 8 o'clock match. On the other sets of courts, we're at the Field Club in Pittsburgh. Great setup here for the national championship.
Very, very good paced roller by Zubori.
15 all.
So how many different overheads does Zubori hit in a match, Lauren? And what distinguishes her as an individual talent out here?
Well, she's able to hit a roller. She's able to hit underspin. She's able to drop it. She's got a lot of shots, and she just hasn't quite figured out how to put them all together yet in a winning for over the course of a tournament.
So it's almost like she has too many choices.
And that often happens with super talented people. You know, you have too many choices. You can't just focus on one thing.
30-40.
Right, and that decision-making is really the thing that separates. In every single match, as you get deeper into a draw, the team that makes better choices more often it wins the match.
Game.
You see that big
Prendergast,
Zink forehand.
They lead 2-1.
Not a serving duel so far.
Hardly. But there you see the Zink forehand. I saw her hit a couple Mach 80 miles an hour in her first round match. She loves to rip it, and I can't imagine that they're going to give her too many of those easy forehands.
Love, 15.
Cindy Prendergast serving.
Love, 30.
Cindy has played in 14 APTA Women's Nationals finals.
How many total?
She's been in 14 finals with 3 different players.
No, but I mean, how many total nationals has she played in?
Love,
You know, I
40.
don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think she's 74, so that would mean, no, I'm only kidding.
Game, Ondrejkova, Zubori. We're tied, 2 games apiece.
All right, let's start again here. Let's
Yeah,
see
we
if-
just delete those first 4 games, Lauren.
Oh, Zubori got that one.
15, love.
This is where Lauren Zink wants to be, dictating the play, getting to hit some big swinging volleys.
And right there, I think that's going to be the key for Zink and Prendergast. Martina really is effective with her
30,
lobs
love.
and drives and mixing them up out of that deuce court. And I think it's going to be an interesting thing to see if Zink can cover, you know, the player to the left has to cover a lot of the overheads. And Lauren tends to play in really close from her tennis that she plays all the time.
Yeah, she likes to get close to the net and hit those volleys.
You know, as often the case with top women players,
40,
both
love.
Prendergast and Zink have had a lot of success in mixed play as well. Lauren has won 2 mixed national titles with her husband George. She's been in 7 mixed national finals, and Cindy's
Game.
played in a handful as
Ondrejkova,
well.
Zubori. They lead
winning
3
with George
games
Zink.
to 2 in the first set.
So George played with Cindy before Lauren really could compete on a high level, and then they won a couple themselves and some husband-wife nationals as well.
And Zubori held serve. So we have our first service hold, which is not crazy unusual in paddle. I mean, the game these days tends to really favor the returner.
Right. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you'd be like, oh, my Lord, I've been broken twice. Here, they don't. It's not even any factor in their mindset, I don't think.
No, not at all.
That's Lauren Zink serving, and that's the Martina
Love,
Ondrejkova
15.
return to serve. Beautiful forehand stroke.
Ondrejkova is very calm, and she just will keep coming at you with those, both that forehand and that backhand drive.
15, all.
What's the longest point we've had so far? How many times over the net, Lauren?
15, 30.
Nah, there was a point where a lob went over the head. It's probably 7 or 8. But that's
really
not so
quick.
long for a paddle point.
Yeah, really short points here. I wouldn't say either team has their footing.
There you see it again where Zink gets caught in the middle. She got away with it
30
there.
all.
But I think Zubori and Ondrejkova are going to try to expose that over and over.
(30-40).
It's tough when Ondrejkova gets dialed in on that return. It's tough to just play the same formation over and over. They might want to think about switching it up.
Yeah, I think they'll have to. She's clearly in a nice rhythm so far. I walked on the court to take a picture before the start of the match, Lauren, and the sound the ball makes coming off the paddle. This is a little different than 1935 when Mrs. Eaton and Mrs. Fuller won.
See Zink hitting that overhead hard, trying to hit it in the neck.
Deuce.
Again, gets
And
the return low, down at Zink's feet. Just can't come up with a volley.
One of the things about Zink and Prendergast, when they do come in and only play one tournament, nationals, you know, it's a little tough to make adjustments. You're kind of just getting out there and trying to remember how to play and get your timing. And I'm just not sure they're comfortable with lots of variety and formations. You know, I doubt we'll see an Australian against Martina, even though Martina is dialed in on her return out of that
well,
deuce
that's
court.
why I was happy to see they played Peachtree last week, because I thought that maybe they would be able to work out some of their stuff before they played nationals, so we'll see.
Well, they have a style of play that they love, and it's either going to work or it's not.
Yep.
Good non-hit from Prendergast there.
It's hard to let that ball go. It's rising when it comes at you, and you're just trying to react.
But even though Zubori's so explosive out of that ad court, I do think they need to give her this opportunity. She's throwing in some errors here, and that's what they need. Ondrejkova's just real fluid right now.
Solid.
You know, and what Zink and Prendergast do best is
out.
just pummel the ball drive after drive. And you could see right there the real good teamwork Zubori and Ondrejkova had, and they were pretty close to each other, committed to backhand volleys, which I think is the key for them to go deep in this tournament. I think Zubori likes to hit some forehand volleys.
Game. Ondrejkova,
and it tends
Zubori.
to kind of leave an
They lead
opening
4
in the
games to
court.
2.
In the past, I've seen that. But
Yes.
right there, I felt like they squeezed the middle a little bit, and that's good for them. So we're at 4-2 first set, 2019 APTA National Championships.
Love, 15.
Ondrejkova has an excellent serve. She can throw in a few faults, but she usually steadies herself. It's hard to attack her serve.
Best finish Ondrejkova
Love,
and Zubori
30.
have this year is in Boston, where they finished third. They lost to Laura Barrett and Roxy Anika in that match. They had a 6th place finish in Long Island, where they lost to the sisters, Liz Cruz, Miriam Warner. And they played charities as well, lost in the quarters to Lemery and Rohrbach.
15-30.
Here we see some I formation. Drew the error.
30 all.
Patty, that feels great when you're the server and you're getting pummeled with the returns. You stay back, you just get the serve in, and then the returner overhits.
Yeah, that's a gift.
Yep.
And that's smart. You know, they know what a threat Zink is when she hits the ball, and they've got to make her look at
40,
a different court.
30. Deuce.
Little indecision there, and I'm not sure if Martina was going to go in behind that serve, and sometimes it's hard to serve.
It's hard to
when you
push
stay
the
back.
serve. Yeah. You don't finish it.
Yeah, it just takes you out of your natural tempo. Really good lob from Cindy Prendergast from the deuce court. And that's what Cindy's got to do for them to come through in this match. She's just got to have a willingness to put a lot of balls in play. She's got to give Lauren Zink some of the errors that their team can afford to make.
And to use her experience, goodness knows she has.
Deuce.
She's a very smart player. She knows how to win.
And she has a great sense of humor.
Yes.
She's really a favorite. She's a Hall of Famer and has distinguished herself with her grace and class over the years. Former winner of the Charlotte Lee Award for sportsmanship. She wanted no part of running for that ball, apparently.
She said, too good.
Game.
Zink's
Ondrejkova,
had
Zubori.
trouble a
They
few
lead
times when
5
she's
games
tried
2.
to sort of finesse the shot. It hasn't worked out for her.
Yeah, I just think Zubori and Ondrejkova are so solid at the net, Lauren, with their positioning from what we've seen so far. So, you know, I do think Zink and Prendergast, their game is based on effective driving, but they're going to have to mix up the lobs and sort of get, you know, someone off the net.
That's the difference. I think the biggest difference in the women's game today is that you can't win by hitting huge anymore. Like, you have to be able to, because the top women can all handle the pace on the volleys. You have to have something else.
So in the lower levels,
15.
that pace just overpowers, you know, most club players.
Right,
and
you
that's
get
why.
free points everywhere, but at the upper level, it's just going to come back to you.
A lot of times,
30.
club level players will say to me, well, I mean, they played tennis. And I said, no, they just crushed their forehands, and you've got to improve your backhand volley. You've got to be able to get in there because the game comes down to handling that serve and volley. That first volley's toughest shot, and the return of serve's the most aggressive spot.
15, 30.
Zink cheated over there and cut the ball off and caught Ondrejkova off guard.
I like that move when Lauren Zink starts moving more at the net.
And now we see she's playing ice, so they're thinking about it. Thinking about what to do.
Yeah, I think Lauren feels more comfortable doing that than Cindy does. Cindy plays real traditional positioning. And that was just a rip on the backhand.
15, 40.
And that's where Cindy's got to close in. She sees that drive coming, and you've either got to commit to letting it go and really running it down off the back screen or moving forward. Kind of standing off the net is not going to be how it's going to get done. And that's a beautiful touch.
Game.
Lob.
Ondrejkova, Zubori. They win the first set, 6 games to 2. New ball.
We will be back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live. Welcome back to the 2019 APTA National Championships. We are in the second set now of this round of 64 match between Cindy Prendergast and Lauren Zink, and the 10th seeds, Anna Maria Zubori and Martina Ondrejkova. Ondrejkova Zubori won the first set 6-2. Patty, what do you think Prendergast and Zink can do in the second set to make more of an impression on the games of Ondrejkova and Zubori?
Hit more balls in play. It's just really, you know, it was an error fest for the first 5 games for both teams. Zubori and Ondrejkova have settled down nicely, and they're rock solid as a team here. They look very relaxed, and their volley skill is just taking away what Prendergast and Zink's weapons are, which are their drives. So I do think Cindy and Lauren are going to have to mix it up. And I said it earlier, they're going to have to get them off the net and maybe just pick a player who they're going to lob and try to create an opening. You know, you can't just drive. I think they have to throw a lob in earlier in the point to have any chance to break down Ondrejkova and Zubori here.
15, love.
And to even that ball, had it gone over, I'm not sure it would have put them in a great position anyway. And that's the ball I'd love to see Cindy just throw up a lob.
30, love.
And play long points. I think if you're Zink Prendergast, you know, there's not a 5-second clock here that the point has to end in, and that's kind of what it feels like right now. See, I love that move. Zubori was off the net. Cindy hit an off-speed ball,
15.
And that's, you know, signature play from Prendergast Zink with Lauren closing in, finishing off the point. That's all they have to do to win this match, Lauren.
Okay.
30, all.
Good return from Zink.
Shout out to our umpire, Rob Lusk, is up in the chair, helping us out on this nice sunny winter day in
30,
Pittsburgh.
40.
It feels like it's 33 degrees out, I think. It's a little warmer here in our booth. Shout out to ENET, all the guys who do a great job. Kelly's been with us every tournament this year. Rock solid effort.
Add in.
And, you know, again, Prendergast Zink had a game point to start off the set, and it's a couple quick errors. Back to deuce.
Deuce. Add out.
See that pickup from Zubori there.
Oof. There it is, the break for the first game.
Prendergast Zink, they lead 1-0.
Good effort by
in the second
Prendergast
set.
Zink to get out on top here in the second set.
As far as they're concerned, that first set didn't happen.
Yep.
And all they're thinking about is they're winning now. 1-0, second set.
Look, we all know how one of the hallmarks of the game is that things can change very quickly.
Great shot of Lauren Zink serving. And there's the move from Zubori, who just glides as she moves around the court, and she's pretty magical with her hands. I mean, I would say her hands are as good as any women's hands in the game right now. Just in what different shots she can come up with. It's almost like she challenges herself.
Yes.
And she's like, let me see how I can make the shot even more difficult. And as you said earlier, you know, what's going to put her to the next level in the game is that she just has that consistency, makes the decisions a little bit earlier, and, you know, is okay with hitting some boring shots from time to time in key moments.
Yep, that's the key. It's you know, you can have the best shots and hit the ball better than anyone else, but you have to know how to use it.
It's a great get.
Great get.
And you know, that tells me a lot about Zubori and the adjustment she's made from last year. She absorbed the pace with her backhand volley and a couple of Prendergast drives, and then went to her real great touch and hit a drop shot, opened up the court.
15-30.
Speaking of Hall of Famers, tonight's a special night
30
for the APTA with what will be the induction of our newest member, Mike Stulak, the first Canadian to be inducted into the APTA Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's a really nice night because everybody adores Mike Stulak.
30-40.
And it's going to be a very evening filled with a lot of love.
He is so regarded in this game, and he's always had a lot of class, just as competitive as anyone in the game, two-time national champion.
Game. Ondrejkova, Zubori. Tied one game apiece in the second set.
After a long day of paddle.
Yeah, and he loves the game. It's really a terrific ambassador for the game.
This is Ondrejkova serving. Cindy Prendergast about to return. I love those bright yellow Viking paddles, Lauren. They really pop out on this sunny day. And Viking just happens to be one of our major sponsors. We thank them for their support of every aspect of the game of platform tennis, especially the juniors, if you ask me.
And they're well represented on this court. Viking paddles.
15-30.
So this is kind of a key moment in the match, 1-all. Zink's going to crush this.
The serve was too good. She couldn't. Oh, that one sat there for her.
30-all.
It was a game like this, a 2-all in the first set, where Ondrejkova struggled and finally held, and then they ran away with a set.
You just kind of get the feel. This is key. It's early in the set, but it's key for Zink and Prendergast. Great lob out of that deuce court.
40-30.
Maybe the ball was going out. I'm not sure. Zink would have been well served just to let that ball bounce, actually. Play it off the back
just
screen.
Hit it down the middle. There was no angle there to be had.
She doesn't love hitting that push overhead down the middle.
But from that far back, you don't have a choice.
Some of us lived on that shot. But, you know, Zink loves to power the ball.
Yeah.
That's the speed that she knows.
Add in.
A lot of chatter from Zubori here. You can tell she feels very comfortable.
Deuce.
I think that was a fault.
It was. Quite a few this game.
That's a really good lob from Zink.
Add in.
When she played all the time, that forehand, she never missed. She's caught the tape on a couple here, running to the middle, just from...
Did a great job setting that up. She got herself the forehand that she wanted.
She did. It's just hard to execute when you don't have too many shots under your belt during the year.
Ondrejkova, Zubori, they lead 2-1 in the second set. They won the first set 6-2.
Well, let's see if that turns out to be a pivotal game.
Yeah, I think that Cindy's going to really have to make sure she gets in for these first volleys in this game. I think, you know, back in the day, Lauren used to cover a lot of those and could take away, you know, the effectiveness of the return of serves of her opponents. But having not played so much, you know, it's going to be on Cindy to kind of get in here and make some volleys.
That was deep. That was a good choice by Prendergast because she took the pace off and it was deep, and Ondrejkova didn't get anything on it.
You know, when I started playing, that's what people said, you know, hit the ball and do score a player's backhand. Even if they like their two-handed backhand, you know, it takes away some of the angles which they can hit toward you, and you can sort of cover it with your partner if you shift.
And especially if it's deep, and especially if there's no pace on it. You have plenty of time as the net player to cover it.
30 all.
And that's where, you know, Zubori and Ondrejkova have so much quickness out here. And you can just see when these plays become pretty fast at the net, that really favors them.
30, 40.
And that's the play, you know. I've seen Zink make that shot a million times, but just a little rusty out here.
Game, Ondrejkova Zubori. They lead 3-1 in the second set.
It's kind of quiet out here this morning, Lauren. I know later on in the afternoon this place is going to be rocking, and then you can see that tent. You'll see that'll be standing room only later on this afternoon.
Like it was last night for the Men's President's Cup final.
15 love.
Speaking of President's Cup, shout out to Region 2 men for the 7th year in a row under the captainship of Jeff Morneau. They beat Region 1 in the finals. And in the women's play, Chicago went undefeated. But they didn't win President's Cup because it comes down to the number of courts won on the lines, and that goes to Region 2 as well.
Did you lose it underneath the...
They gathered 22 points throughout the day, and I think Region 5 and Region 3 maybe were tied with 21 points.
He got it?
So Region 2, bragging rights, both President's Cup. And President's Cup is such a great competition in the women's side. It gives an opportunity for some of the middle-tier players. The top players are eliminated from being able to play in it,
30 love,
which I kind of love on the women's side, and it really opens the door for players from all over the country. Spend an entire day playing hours and hours and hours and hours of paddle.
And a chance to be on a team.
It's great. I was at Edgeworth Club yesterday on and off throughout the day. Saw a little bit of the play, and I mean, it's really the highlight of the national championship for many of the players who really come up against the likes of Zubori and Ondrejkova, and no, they're not really able to compete against those top level women.
(40-15).
Just there, you know, it's kind of a silly error, but you can't make them later in the tournament.
No,
if they want to get through.
That is the difference maker.
And I think, you know, Zubori and Ondrejkova are one of the teams legitimately who could win this national championship. But it's kind of on their paddle. They have the talent to do it. They have the speed, court coverage,
and
variety of shots, variety of styles of play. They can really match up with different style of plays from their opponents.
Prendergast Zink.
But it's just going to be playing the key points a tad more conservatively, possibly.
The umpire got the score wrong there. It's deuce from 40 love.
Add out.
Great forehand drive by Prendergast. Game point.
Lauren, we were out here 5 years ago in the freezing cold, up on a platform about 12 feet up. We've come a long way in the live streaming of the Nationals and every other tournament, the Grand Prix, thanks to eNet.
Good cover by Zink. This is the longest point of the match, Patty.
Yep. There's that two-handed backhand from Zubori. She got a little giddy up there, and like we said, she's got a lot of variety of shots.
Game, Prendergast, Zink.
Well, we started talking about Zubori keeping her game under control. She went from 40 love in that game to losing the game, and that's really embodies the issue. Just a quick couple errors, you know, for no reason.
And I just think that to even reach the semis or, you know, the finals, it's so difficult in nationals, and it's being, I think you have to be efficient. You've got to get through these early round matches, not give back. You know, you can't re-gift games to each other. And Zubori just re-gifted that game, or it was just a gift.
Yeah.
You know, and people have the mentality, oh, you work your way into the draw. It doesn't really matter. But I think you create a mindset for your team of, you know, not giving anything away, being competitive on every point.
And paddle's different than tennis. You got to play 6 or 7 matches here in 3 days. You don't have 2 weeks to do it.
Right.
And it takes a lot out of you if every match is long and draining.
$15-30.
Lauren Zink serving. Anna Zubori returning. Anna Zubori hitting Cindy Prendergast.
But that was a nice combination.
Apologizing, sort of.
Nice combination by Zubori. The big return, she came in behind it. The big forehand dry volley.
Game, Ondrejkova, Zubori. They lead 4-2.
Pretty much a must-have break right here for Prendergast and Zink. Good sign from Ondrejkova. She really hit out on that serve.
She stayed. Oh, jeez.
Wow. Okay, so Zink just tagged Zubori there. I don't know where she got hit.
I thought she got hit in the head.
Hope she's okay. I mean, I think she's just startled. Let's hope. Here comes Shannon Vincent. She's the APTA Grand Prix Tour Director. And she'll kind of come out and assess the situation, see if we need to take a couple minutes here. And we really don't know if she got hit in the eye. I don't think she did. I think it maybe hit her in the cheek or something. This is a round of 64 match. We're in Pittsburgh for the 2019 PNC National Championships. Ondrejkova and Zubori won the first set 6-2 over Prendergast Zink. They're up 4-2, second set. And part of that game, out here is these players just tag the ball, and the ball comes at you so fast. And that's where, I think Zubori wasn't looking for the shot.
And Zink was close. They were in close proximity to each other, so it was going to be hard to react to, even if you were ready for it. All right, just getting up.
She's okay. Yeah, I think she got startled.
Yeah, and she probably got the wind knocked out of her.
Yep. Maybe she got hit in the throat. Shannon's making sure she's just okay before she, resumes play here. I don't think Mrs. Eaton or Mrs. Fuller ever hit Mrs. Hampton or Mrs. Rockefeller in 1935 in the finals of the first ever APTA Women's National Championships, Lauren.
Not like that.
Yeah, that's the difference. It's that speed of the game, and that's why, the high level in this sport and men and women, it is like a different sport.
It is hard to tell on watching on the live stream the velocity that ball is coming. It's unless you're on the court with it and you feel it and see, it's just it's hard to believe.
And I think club level players may see one ball hit that hard, where, as you know, when you get on the court with the top women, and you yourself could crush the ball. And I remember you were just a pure hitter, and it was amazing how fast that ball just lands on your paddle.
Yeah.
Ondrejkova serving.
Let's see how Zubori is.
And for being how close they play to each other, it's almost amazing more people don't get hit by those really thunderous kind of drives. And, Prendergast got hit on the shot prior to that. That's kind of why it's good to be sitting in the booth.
15.
It is.
Ball.
We don't have to take
away
those
from
shots
the danger.
anymore. And that's the
15,
play where
30.
Martina kind of backed off because Zubori flipped her paddle over from the backhand to the forehand. And that's where she's been pretty disciplined in this match so far, not doing that. There's the pace of Zink again. She could just crush it.
15, 40.
And credit to Zink there. She took something off that ball to get control. She set up herself beautifully so far today, but kind of has hit the top of the tape a couple times. So she went for a little safer shot, took something off it.
30, 40.
I would bet $100 that Lauren Zink's driving this ball, Lauren.
That's all? That's all you got?
Game, Prendergast Zink. They trail 4 games to 3.
And a finesse overhead to win the point from Lauren Zink. And there you have it.
6 games to 2.
We haven't seen her really work that combination and stay in one corner and with the variety of paces. And that's really the key to breaking down someone in screenplay.
Well, fortunately, Zubori seems okay. And we'll see how she returns here, but I think she's all right.
Prendergast serving, 3-4 down, second set. It's been it's tough for them to hold serve.
I don't like them playing straight up here.
No,
They're just
I agree.
giving them a target.
Ondrejkova has just really handled her return to serve beautifully today. Real high percentage rate. And, you know, Cindy's been down a lot. I think
30.
love 15 after the first point.
And even if she makes the first volley, she has to hit it up above the level of the net. And you saw Ondrejkova was right there. Zubori was right there to make the next shot.
Zubori's fine.
She's fine.
15-30.
It's a really good serve from Prendergast right up the tee there.
And a good first volley. Kept it deep.
But you can see how far Prendergast plays closer to the service line on her volleys than to the net. Much further back than most players. And that's the problem with it. When someone can adjust the pace and hit that dipping ball, it's hard to volley from back there well.
Game. Ondrejkova Zubori. They lead 5-3 in the second set.
Really smart return of serve from Ondrejkova there. She knew Zink was going to be looking to help out a little bit on that volley and went behind her.
Did she mean to hit that drop volley? Couldn't
15,
tell.
love.
I didn't see it coming.
Well disguised.
Love.
Lauren, you're kind of a psychic about paddle matches, I found out, and calling matches with you. I mean, you can pick a winner in number of games.
40, love.
In an uncanny fashion.
Yeah, I had the score right on this one.
Triple match point.
What was your record in calling matches in Short Hills? Was that?
For whatever.
15.
And I like to pick. If the other announcer makes a pick, I just like to make the other pick just for the heck of it. You know, we know all these players. We want them all to do well.
Right. And by the way, that's amazing that you could be wrong so many times. It just goes to show that there's no sure things.
They win the match 6-2, 6-3.
Zubori and Ondrejkova advance here. They are the 10th seeds, and not a surprise, they took out Prendergast and Zink 6-2, 6-3.
Thanks, Patty.
Lauren, that was fun. I think we'll wrap it up here, and we'll be back soon with more action. But in the meantime, let's just talk about what's ahead for these players, okay, if the draw goes through. I mean, this women's draw is incredible, Lauren. I was making some predictions myself about what we're going to see here as we proceed into the draw. And this is such a talented field, as much depth as we've ever seen in the draw. We have Hanisch van Starenburg, national champs in here. We have Delmonico, who's a former national champ. We have Cruz, a national champ. Niculescu, a national champ. I mean, we've got so many talented players. Brazova, Stoklasova.
Well, that's going to be an interesting matchup. Anna Brazova playing with Amy Shea. Unfortunately, Cynthia Dardis has a terrible shoulder injury and is out. And so Amy Shea is playing with former national champion Anna Brazova, making them
they have
very
a
interesting.
Round of 16 collision with Jay Curtis and Vicky Stoklasova.
We're going to go to an interview with Jerry Viant now.
Okay, come on in. All right, guys, congratulations. That was a fast, hard-hitting first-round match. Do you think that helped you or hurt you this early in the tournament?
Understanding it and attitude, just enough to get us in the group for the rest of the tournament. but I think it can only go a little slower than
happen up there, you talk about a grocery store.
Yeah, you've played them before, right, Martina?
If you look at the volume, I mean, grocery stores throw away 31% of produce and probably 25% of their meats. Okay? You got to do a lot of volume to make any money.
And like really heavy, hard forehand. And I know you got nailed.
We're having some audio difficulties with the interview, so we're going to take a break and we'll be back.